Good morning, everyone. Good morning. That was pretty good. Okay. So Nate asked me a question a couple of days ago. He said, "How do you love someone seemingly unlovable?" I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "You just do." He was surprised by my answer. You should have seen the look on his face. It was priceless. We use believe in love as a universal principle. But what does that really mean? Would I go out of my way to love someone who hurt me? Do I have to forgive everyone who hurts me? I asked myself, could I love Lewis, the drunk driver who killed my big brother in 1998? I strive to emit a positive, healthy energy at all times. When I look through my mind's eye, I see the world as full of these multicolored particles of energy. Those who emit this energy are putting it out there to share, like the song we sing, breathe in, breathe out. Those who are able will receive it and use it and pass it on. This, to me, is a kind of love. Sure, there are deeper kinds of love that move me to go out of my way to help you, to be kind to you, to do things for you, and to love you physically. But with regard to this first universal kind of love, the emission of my energy, yes, I do love everyone. And Lewis, well, he puts out something that's a different color, and my body rejects that. I don't stop my energy from going his way, but because of who he is, he can't attract the most loving particles, and that's okay. I'll be honest, if I saw him about to be hit by a train, I'm not always sure I would rush to his aid. The day after Doug was killed, I wouldn't have lifted a finger to stop that train. Today, I don't know. I stood in a courtroom about a year ago and testified at another of Lewis's hearings after he'd been picked up for DUI number 30-something. I didn't do it for personal satisfaction or for vengeance, but to keep Lewis off the street so he can't hurt anyone else. So yes, when I stood in that courtroom and told the judge Lewis should go back to jail, I was loving Lewis and loving myself even more. I don't let him hurt me anymore. I won't send out hate and let him affect the color of what I'm putting out into the world. I want to emit all the pretty colors. And so this morning, I come to this beautiful place to partake of your beautiful, loving energy and to share mine with you. And to do that, we start the same way we do every Sunday, by simply saying, welcome home.
I know we haven't spoken before, but I see you. Your colors, your strength, your beauty, riding on the stardust, surrounded by the innocent who are casting wishes from beyond. I see your beauty, I feel your warmth, the light shining through you. In the day, you bring color. At night, your dark skin radiates and fills this space. At night, your eyes still shine bright, and you give me comfort. I know we haven't spoken before, but I've come to offer a confession. I am wrestling with the question, how do I love someone seemingly unlovable, I have to confess that my answer is simply, you don't. You don't. When I hear Connie speak of the time when her brother was killed by a drunk driver, and I think if she were to come here in this space, to fall and weep into my arms and cry out that her brother is now dead because of the irresponsible acts of another, am I honestly supposed to say, love Lewis, love the guy who killed your brother? Am I honestly supposed to say, forgive him? Am I honestly supposed to do what religions have been doing throughout time, and that is put the burden on the victim? I can't. What am I supposed to do when an adult daughter comes to me saying that she has decided not to circumcise her son, and yet her father, who is a rabbi, says, if you do not, I will never speak to you again, and you will be asked to leave our family, and your son will not be Jewish. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to say to the daughter, forgive the father, for he knows not what he does? Am I supposed to somehow say that because of his religious worldview, he has a right to separate himself from his own daughter? This is theological violence. It's a theological threat. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to permit this? And say, go and love your father. Go forgive him. What am I supposed to do with the woman who comes into this house of freedom, who says, Nate, I need to talk to you, and confesses that she has done something horrific, something that has caused many people severe harm, something so severe I cannot even speak at this moment. What am I supposed to do? This woman who has come to confess, this woman who has sought my counsel to go to all those who she has harmed and to find ways to apologize. She is showing remorse. She is seeking forgiveness. But here is the most challenging part. In addition to confessing all her wrongs, she also confessed a most vulnerable truth for her, and that is, she does not feel worthy of love. She feels that what she has done is so beyond repair that she sees herself as seemingly unlovable and cannot love herself. What am I supposed to say? Surely you must know the answer. You who have looked upon generations and generations of us who have come before to ask such questions, to wrestle with our grief, to bargain for ways out of these conflicts, surely you must know a way. He looks so beautiful. Stands so stoic and strong. When I think of Connie and how she had the courage to go to the court and say, we must ensure that this person does not drive drunk again. And given the fact that Lewis has had over 30 accounts of drunk driving, then he must go to prison. This was a strong and loving act. Her actions are teaching me love comes in many forms. Love is not a cliche. Love is not an event. Forgiveness is not an event. It's a process, a life process, and I am so honored to have the privilege of meeting her at this point, at this time in her life. Because her story, spoken into this beautiful space with all its multicolor particles filling our hearts, is teaching us that love, that forgiveness is not an event, it's a process. And when I think of the daughter who is put in the position to think that an act, a choice that she has is somehow made to be one that will threaten the unity of their family, puts the burden on her, the victim. But I am so moved that she has the strength and the power to self-differentiate even the beliefs of her father to the love she has of her father. For she sees him as a victim of the tradition, of the belief that causes harm, that oppresses both him and her in this time. I find refuge in her ability to have that strength to say that she is willing to begin again in a new kind of love, and that is to separate out his behavior, his worldview, from his role as father and grandfather. She is so strong, like you. She is so beautiful, poised, listening to all the innocent cast wishes from beyond. And into the night, she embraces ambiguity with maturity and refuses to accept that division is the only way. And when I think of the woman who had the strength to confess, to apologize, to seek remorse, I think she understands that there is a difference between her behavior, which she takes ownership of, is different from her inherent worth. May she, like you, stand strong, poised, allowing the light to shine through her, so that she may cultivate the sense of self-worth, the sense of self-love, so that she may love both herself and never allow the behavior that occurred to occur again. I know we've never spoken before. And I don't know if I'll have the courage to speak with you again. But what I do know is I find strength in your presence now. In the presence of those in this room who have the courage to begin again in love and to find strength in all that is holy. Amen. And so, if wondering how to move on from this space, what I ask is this. If you, like Connie, have the power and the courage to say, yes, I can love those who are seemingly unlovable, then do that with all of your heart. If you, like me, say, I can't, I really can't, then know that you are in a space that encourages you to be authentic. But here is the thing. For those who we cannot love, for those who you feel you just can't, cast this wish into the night, that those around that person may love them, aware that everyone is worthy of love. But you need not love everybody. And that's the power of community. Because if I know I can't go on, I know that someone else will have the power and the strength and the spiritual maturity to do that for another. So in that spirit, let us extinguish our flame as we say together, extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, or the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please reach across the aisle as Connie takes us home.
How do you love someone seemingly unlovable? I hope each of you found your own answer to that question today. And as we stand here sharing each other's beautiful multicolored energy, I wish each of you the strength and the courage to love in the best way you can. How do you love anyone? You just do. Go in peace.